Okay, I need to tell you something that might sound crazy. I only spend $300 to $350 every 2 weeks on groceries for my family of six. That's it. $700 a month to feed my entire family in Northern California. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, great, another person telling me to eat rice and beans and clip coupons for 10 hours a week, I need you to hear me out because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not spending hours clipping coupons. I'm not eating boring, bland food. I'm not depriving my family. And I'm not shopping at 5 different stores to find the best deals. In fact, I am eating better than I was when we were spending $400 a week on groceries. And here's why this matters. If you are a busy mom who is stuck in debt, you're feeling completely out of control with your money, and you hate how much you're spending on groceries every single week, this episode is going to change everything for you. Because what most people don't realize is that if you can get just your grocery spending under control, everything else becomes easier with your money. We're talking about having an extra $800 a month that you could use to pay off debt, build an emergency fund, maybe take your family on a vacation, or finally stop living paycheck to paycheck. So stick with me because by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how I do this and more importantly, how you can do it too. So stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to the Money Mom podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Coons. I want to paint a picture for you. It's Monday morning. You are at the grocery store again. You grab a grocery cart and you walk through the aisles, throwing the things that you think you need for the week. The kids that are asking for snacks, you grab a few boxes of those, the Cheez-Its, the Goldfish. You pass by the deli and you think, oh, we could eat sandwiches this week. So you grab some deli meat and cheese. You go to the freezer section, you see that the chicken's on sale. So you throw a few packages of those in your cart. And you're not really following a plan. You're just kind of shopping because that's what you normally do. And you get to the checkout and then the total ends up being $427 and your stomach drops. You swipe your card because you're already there. You then load everything into the car, drive home, feeling just really frustrated about how much you spent. And here's the worst part is by Wednesday, 2 days later, you're back at the grocery store because you just ran out of eggs and you're spending another $80. And then Saturday rolls around and you're picking up pizza for dinner because you don't have anything planned. And that's another $40. And by the end of the month, you've spent over $1,400 on groceries and takeout. And you also have no idea where all that money went. You look at your bank account and you think, how is there nothing left from the month? We make decent money. Where is it all going? And the answer is it's going to the grocery store week after week after week. You want to be able to save money. You want to be able to pay off your credit card. You want to be able to have a little bit more extra money at the end of the month, but you don't know how to make it happen without feeling like you're depriving your family, you're running the spreadsheets, you're checking the numbers every day, or you're spending hours doing something you hate. Does that sound familiar? Here's what I need you to understand. This is not your fault. You've been told that what you spend every week on groceries is just what it costs to feed a family. You've been told that if you want to save money on groceries, you're going to need to spend hours clipping coupons. You're going to need to shop at 5 different local grocery stores to find the best deals. You're going to need to give up the food that you love and eat boring, bland meals or get rid of all of your dietary needs like being gluten-free or dairy-free or wanting to eat organic. And then you're going to also have to put in a ton of extra time and money in order to save money. And so you think to yourself, I just don't have time for that. I am maxed out on everything I'm doing in my life. I'm a busy mom. I'm already overwhelmed. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And your bank account is slowly getting drained every month because of that. But here's the truth. You don't actually need to do any of those things to cut your grocery bill in half. In fact, those strategies are exactly why most people fail at saving money on groceries in the long term because they're not sustainable. It's because they're exhausting, they're time consuming, and you aren't going to want to stick with something that requires extra time. So let me tell you what actually works. What actually works is having a system. A simple, replicable system that doesn't require you to spend hours planning every week, doesn't require you to give up the food you love, and doesn't require you to be a coupon clipping expert. Remember that show, The Extreme Couponers, that was really popular like 15 years ago? You do not need to do that. In fact, I've never done that, and I do not believe that clipping coupons is the way to go. And that's why I wanted to record this episode today, because I want to teach you what you could do instead. So here's the shift that I want you to make. Most people approach grocery shopping like this. They walk into the store, they buy what they think they need, put a star on what they think they need, and then they spend whatever it costs, and then they just hope it all works out. But most of the time it doesn't, right? Because without a system, you are just guessing. And guessing leads to overspending. So here's what I want you to do instead. I use something called the SHOP method. And this is the exact system that allows me to spend $300 while still eating all the foods that we love, while still eating healthy meals. My husband and I like to eat high protein, high vegetables, lots of fruits in our house, minimal processed food, and food that my kids actually enjoy. The SHOP method stands for S, shop your shelf. H, have a plan. O, order and shop every 2 weeks. And P, prepare. And I teach the whole SHOP method, start to finish, in my free training. I'm going to link it up for you below. I've already recorded that, so I'm not going to go into the SHOP method here in this episode. But if you want to get started, doing the SHOP method is the fastest and easiest way to cut your grocery spending by $600 every month. Guaranteed. We've taught 20,000 families this method, and it works every single time. Doesn't matter if you have dietary restrictions. Doesn't matter if you have health needs. Doesn't matter if you're busy, because it actually is going to save you time. And it doesn't matter if you live in a high cost of living area. Canada as well. I know I live in the United States, but a lot of people in Canada use the SHOP method as well and save tons and tons of money. I've seen it every single time somebody implements the SHOP method, they save money. So I'm going to link up that training for you below. But I want to go through the process of what that looks like for me when I do my grocery shopping. Now, I am really, really passionate about 2-week grocery shopping. That's one of the steps of the SHOP method, but it's one of the later steps, because I know a lot of people get overwhelmed thinking about ordering your groceries for 2 weeks at a time and then being able to have enough fresh fruit and produce and fridge room and all those things. There's a lot of objections I hear when I talk about 2-week grocery shopping. Now, I work through all of that inside Grocery Budget Bootcamp, which I teach inside the Money Mom Club. But if you want to get started right now, follow this method the next time you go to plan for your groceries or think about going to the grocery store. Okay, you're going to sit down, and it does require some time. Okay. What I tell my students is that if you plan for 20 to 30 minutes for a one sit down session, you are then going to save so much time in the next 2 weeks, because you're not going to be running to the grocery store for random items. You're not going to have the oh crap nights where you don't have your meat defrost, the kids are hungry, and you don't have a meal plan. So you're just throwing everyone in the car and spending $60 on Chick-fil-A, if not more, because Chick-fil-A is so stinking expensive now. So you're going to save time. So I do require, you do need to set aside 20 to 30 minutes to do this process. And when you do this, you're going to sit down, you're going to make sure you don't have any other distractions, right? This is a time when the kids are entertained with something else. Maybe they're asleep, maybe they're at school. Give yourself distraction-free time so you can really focus on this. You're going to sit down and you're going to first inventory your pantry, fridge, and freezer. And you're going to see, what do I already have in my house that I can use before I think about purchasing new food from the grocery store? Because most of the time, people are purchasing more food. They're bringing it home, they're stocking their shelves, and then all the food that you have either goes to waste or you just push it to the back of your pantry. I am astonished, and you would be too, if you calculated how much food is actually sitting on your pantry, fridge, and freezer right now. Most families, it's hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of food that is either going to end up as food waste or not be used. And the average American family wastes 30% of the food that they buy. 30%. Which means if we can decrease or eliminate food waste, we are going to decrease your grocery spending by 30% just by that one alone, just by decreasing food waste. So before you think about going to the grocery store, before you make a list, before you even make a meal plan, look at what you already have and plan your meals around that. If I have broccoli that's going to go bad in the next week, I'm not going to plan enchiladas for dinner one night. I'm going to think, what can I use that broccoli for? Oh, maybe I'll make chicken broccoli casserole, and that's going to go on my meal plan. So I'm focusing on using up the perishables specifically of what I already have on hand. And then I'm going to put those ingredients, whatever I want to use up, on a paper. Then I'm going to go through and think about what items do I need to have in my house? And we call this an essentials list. What items do I need to have on my house that's going to keep me out of the grocery store? And we call it an essentials list because it's things that if you run out of, you have to run back to the grocery store. These are essentials like milk, butter, eggs, bread, pasta. These are basic essential items that you need to have. So you're going to go through your essentials list, and I always have my students create an essentials list for themselves, and then they're going to go through their house and say, okay, what essentials do I need to order or do I need to add to my list so that I don't have to go to the grocery store in 3 days? So that I don't run out of these essentials. And that's for sure going to go on your grocery shopping list. Those are the first items on your list. Then after we've done that, you're going to go and think about your meal plan. Now, again, I shop for 2 weeks at a time. That's how I save money. That's how I save time. That's how I streamline this process. But if you're just getting started, you could just start with 1 week at a time. Think about what meals do I need to eat this week in order to stay out of the grocery store and plan around so that I'm shopping from my shelf before I think about the new ingredients I need to add. In most families, if you are a rock star meal planner, you may be over meal planning if you're overspending on groceries. I highly recommend not planning more than 3 to 4 meals a week every single week. So that way you're not overbuying, so that way you're not over shopping and you don't have too much food. So 3 to 4 meals, that's pretty easy. Just think about meals that your family loves and then cycle through those meals. Create a list of 20 meals that your family likes to eat, and then you're just plug and playing those meals into your meal plan. Maybe one of the meals is a shop the shelf friendly meal where you're using up the food you have, and then the other 2 or 3 meals are meals that your family loves to have, and that's it. The ingredients for those go on your grocery list. And now you have a robust list that's going to keep you out of the grocery store for the next week or 2 weeks. Now, I hate meal planning. I actually don't want a meal plan every single week, which is one of the reasons I spaced out my grocery trips. So I only have to do this every 2 weeks. I then add all those grocery items into my grocery order, or if you are somebody who's hell-bent on shopping in the store, by all means, you can do that as well. But take that list with you and shop from that list at the grocery store. Get your essentials, get your meal plan items, get the things that you need, and then that's it. We're not doing random purchases. We're not thinking about the things that are on sale and shopping the deals. We're sticking to the list and we're having that plan. And then hopefully you have a target number for how much you want to spend on groceries. Most families are just spending whatever they spend when they go to the grocery store, but it really helps if you're saying, okay, I only want to spend $200 this week on groceries. Stick to that list. Stick to the budget and make sure that your meal plan and your essentials items allow you to do that. And then once you've gotten your groceries, we're not going to run back to the grocery store the second one item runs out. I know the grocery store is so convenient and it's something that most people have easy access to, but that convenience may be one of the reasons that you're spending more than you want to on groceries. So instead of just going back to the grocery store the second you run out of an item, think about, what can I do instead? How could I create substitutions? How could I change up what I want to feed my family and use those items before you go back to the grocery store? I promise you will not starve. I promise you have enough food in your house to last you at least a week or 2 weeks before going back to the grocery store. And then once I do that, I order my groceries. They get delivered to my front door. I have my food that I need. I have my meal plan. I have the system, and I don't have to do it for another 2 weeks. And I just spent 20 minutes. It takes me maybe 15 minutes now. It's so fast because I've done this for so long. I've got everything I need, and my system has created time savings and money savings. So here's what I want you to do. If you are spending over $300, $400 a week on groceries and you're ready to get that number down, okay, you're ready to put in some effort, you're ready to take action and finally have extra money left over at the end of the month, I want you to go watch that free class that I have. that teaches the shop method in detail. And I want you to start thinking about your grocery spending. Start thinking about it differently. Start realizing that this budget, this one budget, is where you should focus on first. If you are feeling stressed, if you are feeling like stuck in debt and you want to be able to get out, focus on your grocery spending because it's the fastest and easiest way to get that extra money. We can work on all the other stuff after that, right? This is the biggest win. This is the fastest way to do it. And that's why I'm so passionate about the grocery budget. That's why we start there. We don't end there. There's so much more work that we can do once we figure out your grocery spending. But that's the fastest place to get started. And that's why I wanted to record this podcast today. So try it out. Let me know how it goes for you. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always an open book and would love to chat with you about this. And hopefully we'll see some grocery savings from this one episode. I'd love to hear it. If it helped you at all, let me know. Okay, you guys, that's all I have for today. I'll see you in the next episode.